It's a rainy Saturday here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, so why not go check out some bikes? So I was out at Eisenhower Harley Davidson out in York, Pennsylvania, and it's not that far from here. It's about 30 minutes for me from my house, from where I'm at. But I saw that they had the Pan America CVO, the brand new, the 2024, and so I thought, hey, I want to take a look at this thing and I want to see this and see it in person, not just pictures of it. So, because I'd seen numerous pictures, but I wanted to see it in person. So, as some of you know, I have a 2023 Pan America and absolutely love the bike. But I decided to go out and check it out earlier today. And now I had a little bit of a pleasant surprise, and I did a little bit of video there when I was out at Eisenhower's, and I'll tie that in with this, but I didn't have, it wasn't the best lighting, and I'm not sure, so you couldn't see the colors the best, but however, when I got out there, they had one there that I wasn't expecting, and it was the 2024, the new Hydroglide, they're calling it, that Harley Davidson came out with. It's the, well, it's supposed to be like the retro look from back in the 40s and 50s, you know. So anyway, they had one of those there, and I had seen videos on that and absolutely loved the bike. And I was like, man, I got to see one of those in person. So I got to see that. So it's pretty cool. So I do have a little bit of video here that I took while I was at Eisenhower's, the Harley dealer there in York. But one of the things that I noticed with, and I know with the Pan America, with like the way a lot of people, the additions that they put on, basically the CVO, that's what Harley did. They took the bike, and there's some videos out there, some real good videos on exactly getting into more details. But I kind of looked over it a little bit. I was like, because the price, they were at a little over 28,000. Well, I heard some people complaining about, oh, it's overpriced for what you're getting. Well, I got to looking at it and I'm like, not really. Because, and the reason I'm saying that is because when I bought my bike, I was comparing it with it really boiled down to GS, at that time, the 1250. Now they have the GS 1300. But at that time, a year ago, it was the GS 1250. And I had looked at the pricing between that and the Harley Davidson Pan America. And by the time I put everything on it that I wanted, and now I'm talking about at the dealership. You can get aftermarket stuff, after I brought it home. But I was comparing prices with, if I buy this here at the dealership, a brand new one, and I get this bike set up the way I want it, and ride it home. So that's what I was comparing. So when I was at Harley, I was looking at Harley's stuff, their side panniers or side bags, their hard top cases. When I was at BMW, I was looking at the ones that they offered at their dealership. So I was going to be, with BMW, I'd have been a little bit over 30,000. I think it was 30,200 or something like that. With the Pan America, I was a little over 28,000. So little bit of a difference, not huge. I look at it this way, when you're getting to the point where you're spending 30 grand on a motorcycle, a couple $100 or $1,000 or two, that for me, I'm looking at that as, that's not going to be the make or break point as to which one I pick. Obviously, I want to save money. I mean, who doesn't? But if the BMW would have had more of if I'd have been looking at it saying, you know what, that's the bike I want, done, end of story, that extra money wouldn't have bothered me that much. Now, the resale value on the BMWs on the GS is a little bit better than on the Pan America. So, in the end, it probably pretty much comes down to the wash, as they say. Another thing that I did earlier, now that was this year in January, I stopped and checked out the Ducatis. I've heard a lot of good about them, but was not real familiar with them. Now I did see some of them down at the bike show down in Maryland. Ducati was down there, and I did check them out there too. But again, I got some pricing on the Ducati Multistrada V4, I think it is. And so I ended up kind of doing the same thing. Okay, what type of side panniers? I want the hard case in the back. I want the tank bag, the stuff that I wanted on the bike. And with that one, I was a little over 31,000, or I would have been if I'd have bought it. But I already had this bike. I was just kind of doing it out of curiosity. So the Pan America CVO, it has what most people end up buying and adding to the bike. So I was at, well, 28, like 28.2 with everything that I had on the bike. So the CVO is not out of line, so if you're comparing apples to apples, and not apples to oranges, not all this stuff, a lot of guys that end up getting the Pan Americas, you end up close to the same price till you add the bags, quick shifter, which I did not add the quick shifter yet. I haven't done that yet. I'm trying to think some of the other stuff, they had the auxiliary lights. Yeah, of course I only have the top case, the hard top case. My side panniers are the soft bags, which I prefer them. But anyway, the CVO has the hard cases on the sides. So you're looking at, when you buy the motorcycle, say you buy a special, the laced wheels, it has the ARH, it has, all the extras, everything that the specials have to offer. And then before you leave the dealership, you go and you add all the top case, the side cases. It actually comes with, there's another bag that it comes with. I forget, is it a 40 liter? I forget exactly. But that's another thing. It has the quick shifter. It has the radiator guard. It's got the auxiliary lights. It's got all the adjustment on the rear brake pedals a little bit different. It's actually kind of nicer. I like what they did with it. But, they added a lot of these types of things. The engine's the same. The engine and the exhaust is the same. None of that's changed. If you've ridden these bikes, they've got plenty of power. So I guess they figured there's no point messing with that. And I don't blame them for that. But so if you're comparing prices, and I'm talking about the heavy adventure touring bikes, the bigger bikes like the Pan America, the ones that, are competing with the Pan America would be BMWs, the GS 1300 now would have been the 1250, but that type of stuff, you have to compare apples to apples and kind of look at, hey, wait a minute, what's the value that I'm getting here? And with the CVO, as I looked over that bike, I was like, well, wait a minute, it has a lot of the stuff that people add later, even before they leave the dealership, or they add it after they leave. They're like, hey, I'd like to have this. Well, the CVO has all of that stuff. Now, my drawback with the CVO, I bought this bike to take it into the woods and off on dirt trails and to get out and get a little crazy. I've dropped it. I just added some extended guards on the engine guards because picking up depending how you have it loaded, man, you're picking up a 550 to 600 pound bike. Not the easiest to pick up. So this keeps it from falling over so far. So it gives you a little more leverage to pick it up. Because I'm going to drop it, I already have. So that's what would bother me with the CVO, because, man, I'd almost be afraid to take it on the dirt, But at any rate, if you're looking for this type of motorcycle and you're thinking, hey, I'm going to go check this out, if the majority of what your type of riding, the majority of it is going to be highway riding, touring, and you're not going to do a lot of off-road stuff, maybe the occasional hard-packed dirt road somewhere, the CVO that'd probably be the one for you. I'd be afraid, I'd hate to get the thing scratched, because the paint job is beautiful. But at any rate, there's a few of my thoughts on the 2024 CVO. I finally got to see one this morning, outside of just seeing pictures of it. So here's a little bit of a short video too. I apologize for the lighting. I'm not sure what I could have done differently there. I tried to make some adjustments in the camera itself, but it didn't seem to get much better. One of the colors they do have a couple of the 2024 Pan Americas there, and they do have the Alpine green. That's actually my favorite as far as the colors. But on the video, it's hard to tell that. It looks black, but it's not. It's an Alpine green, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
Eisenhower's Harley Davidson in York. Bunch of the new Pan Ams. 2024s. That's a beautiful color. And they've got the CVO. There's more on this than what I had thought there was as far as, check this out. They did change this. There's an adjustment here to adjust that. Instead of just pulling this out and turning it like on the old ones. Just a lot of little things like that. Of course, it comes with the bags. The price really isn't that bad because till you put all of this extra stuff on it. Upgraded seat. And check this out. Oh, that is gorgeous. Take it back in time. This is still probably my favorite color, the copperhead. And they've got two of them here. They've got a street glide and a road glide. Bunch of the new colors. So I'm Wayne King with 717 Throttle Therapy. That's what this is to me. Twist the throttle, it's therapy. But I love just looking at motorcycles too. Over and out. Enjoy your day.